Hello everyone and welcome back to Parkinson's Voice Group Therapy. Thanks so much as always for joining us. On today's schedule we have the usual activities. We will be going through some vocal warm-ups, reading exercises, cognitive exercises, and a cool down. So before we get started, a little bit of a reminder about our main goal for this therapy, which is to speak with intent, and some tips on how to increase your voice level or loudness is to take a big deep breath before beginning to speak, using your abdomen muscles to help force air out of your lungs, maintaining a good posture, meaning feet flat on the ground, shoulders rolled back, sitting up nice and straight, and making sure that you are opening your mouth to appropriately when speaking. So having said that, let's warm up. So we'll start off today, as usual, with the may, me, my, mo, and moo exercise. So for this exercise, the thing we are focusing on is connected speech. So for that, it means connecting each word into the next and having them flow together to make one giant string of words, if you will. So that will sound something like this. May, me, my, mo, moo. So we want to make sure to hold out each word nice and long and then glide it into the next. We are going to go through this exercise 5 times total. So you guys are up. For round 1, ready, set, go. Good. For round 2, ready, set, go. For round 3, ready, set, go. Great work, everyone. Don't forget to hold out each word nice and long. We want to drag on each word into the next. So try to use up the full time. All right, round number 4. Ready, set, go. The last and final round. Ready, set, go. Excellent work, everyone. That concludes that exercise. So next up, we have the sustained ah. So for this, we are focusing on holding out the ah sound nice and steady, using good vocal quality and intensity for 10 seconds. So we will repeat this exercise 5 times, and it should sound something like this. So we want to make sure that we are down in our speaking voice when we hold out that ah. We don't want it to be high-pitched like singing. We want to make sure to keep our voice nice and even and not waver and change pitch. All right, so again, we'll do this exercise 5 times, and the goal is to hold it for 10 seconds each time. Okay, for round number 1, ready, set, go. Excellent work, everyone. That was 10 seconds. Take a deep breath and get ready for round number 2. Ready, set, go. Wonderful. For round number 3, ready, set, go. Great work. Round number 4, take a deep breath. Ready, set, go. Excellent, everyone. Last one, be loud and be proud. Ready, set, go. Excellent work, everyone. All right, on to the next exercise. For me, this one's the trickiest. So the goal of this exercise is to glide again from low to high. Take a breath, pause, and then come back down from high to low. So this one, unlike the ah, is a little bit more like singing because we want to try to glide gently from low to high, nice and smooth. So it should sound like this. Ah. Pause, take a breath. Ah. So try to hold that one out nice and long and smooth. We want the transition to be very smooth and just glide up and down. Okay, so we are going to repeat this exercise 5 times as well. Remember, even though we have to think about the smoothness and vocal quality of this one a little bit more than the last exercise, we still need to make sure that we are staying loud and intentful with our voice. All right, for round number 1, take a breath, get ready, set, go. Good. Round number 2, ready, set, go. Great work, everyone. Round number 3, ready, set, go. Great. Round number 4, ready, set, go. And for round number 5, ready, set, go. Wonderful work, everyone. That concludes our warm-up portion of today's exercises. So next, let's move on to functional phrases. So some things to keep in mind while we're reading out these phrases is to say each and every word with intent. We want to make sure that we are giving the same effort towards every word. So for this exercise, we will read through this slide 2 times. So each bullet point we will read twice. So we'll go through, I'll give you an example and then count you off to repeat back. So the first one should sound like this. I need water. Ready, set, go. The next one is, I'm going to melt. Ready, set, go. Next we have, the mall is closed. Ready, set, go. Next up is, let's take a break. Ready, set, go. The next one is, are you hungry for lunch? Ready, set, go. And our last one is, where are you going? Ready, set, go. Wonderful job, everyone. Let's hop back to the top of this list and go through once more. So the first one will sound like this. I need water. Ready, set, go. Next up we have, I'm going to melt. Ready, set, go. Next we have, the mall is closed. Ready, set, go. Now we have, let's take a break. Ready, set, go. The next one is, are you hungry for lunch? Ready, set, go. And our last one is, where are you going? Ready, set, go. Great work, everyone. Our next exercise is counting. And so for this exercise, we will go through each row 2 times before moving on to the next. And this exercise is very similar to the first one we did, the may, me, my, mo, moo, because we are focusing on that connected speech. So we want each word to blend into the next one. So it will sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll count you guys off by telling you ready, set, go, and then I'll say again and have you run through the same numbers for the second time. So we'll go through all of these, doing them each twice. So let's start with that top row. Ready, set, go. Again. Good. For the second row, it will sound like this. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, your guys' turn. Ready, set, go. Again. Good. For the third line, it will sound like this. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Again. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Ready, set, go. Again. Great work, everyone. Last row, make sure to use intent. It will sound like this. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Again. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, everyone, take a deep breath. Ready, set, go. Again. Great work, everyone. All right, we are halfway through now, so go ahead, grab a sip of water. You guys have been doing great and working hard, so make sure that you are staying hydrated throughout these exercises and in your everyday life. It will really improve your speech intensity and quality. So if you need to go fill up a cup, grab a drink, pause this video, and then come on back and we'll start the next exercise. Okay, let's move on to reading. So for today's morning passage, we have Meeting and Passing by Robert Frost. So for this, we want to make sure to use intent for each and every word, and we want to reach for that 75 to 80 decibel loudness. If you have a sound meter on your phone or next to you, this would be a great time to grab it out so you can help check in and see what level of loudness you're reaching. So go ahead, get that set up, and we'll jump in. I'll read through this first passage, and then you guys will also take a turn reading through the passage. So it will sound like this. As I went down the hill along the wall, there was a gate I had leaned at for the view, and had just turned from when I first saw you. As you came up the hill, we met, but all we did that day was mingle great and small. All right, your turn to read, everyone. Ready, set, go. Wonderful reading, everyone. That sounded intentful. Let's move on to the next passage. So this one should read like this. Footprints in summer dust as if we drew the figure of our being less than two, but more than one as yet. Your parasol pointed the decimal off with one deep thrust. Ready, set, go. Excellent work, everyone. We have one more stanza in this poem by Robert Frost. Make sure that we're reaching for that 75 to 80 decibel loudness and focus on each and every word. So it should sound like this. And all the time we talked, you seemed to see something down there to smile at in the dust. Oh, it was without prejudice to me. Afterward, I went past what you had passed. Before we met, in you what I had passed. All right, everyone, your turn to read this last stanza. Read it with intent. Ready, set, go. Wonderful work, everyone. That concludes our reading exercise for today. So let's move on to the cognitive exercise. So for today's exercise, I have planned a couple of different prompts that we need to write down. So grab a piece of paper and a pen. We'll need those for this activity. So today we will be writing down steps for the following tasks. So for example, our first prompt is making your favorite sandwich. So on that pen and paper, write down at least 4 steps required in order to make a sandwich. I'll give you a moment. Feel free to pause the video if you need a little bit more time, and then we'll come back and I'll share my steps with you. All right, great work, everyone. So for my steps to make a sandwich, I came up with starting by getting out a plate, then gathering the toppings. Next, putting toppings on the first slice of bread. And then lastly, placing the second slice on top of the rest of the toppings and ingredients. So now I'll have you all read off your 4 steps to make a sandwich. Read each word and step with intent. Ready, set, go. Great work, everyone. Okay, the next task I have for us is naming the 4 steps for buying a new refrigerator. Go ahead, write down a couple of these steps, and feel free to pause the video if you need more time. We'll come back together in a couple seconds and compare our answers. All right, everyone. So for my 4 steps to buying a refrigerator, I thought we should start with researching the kind of fridge I would want, then comparing the prices of different stores or different fridges to each other. Next, I would order the refrigerator, and then lastly, I would plan to get rid of the old one somehow. So now each of you go ahead and read aloud the 4 steps you would take when buying a new refrigerator. Ready, set, go. Excellent work, everyone. Thank you for sharing your responses. All right, I have one last prompt for us. So next, we need to think of the 4 steps that are required when you are buying tickets to a sports event. So again, go ahead, jot a couple down on the paper, pause this video if necessary, and we'll come back together and compare. Okay, everyone, so for my 4 steps for buying tickets to a sports event, I came up with first starting by checking for the available dates on my calendar, then comparing those dates with the game day tickets available. Next, I would figure out how many tickets I needed. And lastly, of course, I would go ahead and order my tickets. So now, please read aloud your 4 steps with intent. Ready, set, go. Great work, everyone. That concludes our cognitive exercises for this session. So let's move into the last thing we have on our schedule, which is the cool down. So for this first part of the cool down, we are going to be holding out an ah for 5 seconds. We will only just do this one time. So it should sound like this. Ah. All right, everyone, you are up next, holding out this loud ah. Make sure for these last exercises that you're sitting up nice and straight with your feet flat on the ground. Taking a deep breath. Ready, set, go. Great work, everyone. I think I let you go a little bit too long on that one, but wonderful ahs, holding that nice and long for 5 seconds. So now we have the loud ah for as long as you can hold it. And we'll do this exercise 2 times. So I'll help count you off to keep track of how many seconds you can hold this ah for. Some things we want to keep in mind are that we want to maintain a healthy and good vocal quality that's consistent throughout the entire time we're holding this. So we don't want our voice to waver. We want to maintain that same note this whole time. So I'll do a shortened version, but this is what it should sound like. Ah. So we want to also make sure that we're using our speaking voices when holding out this ah instead of up high in our singing voices. All right, everyone, get ready. Take a deep breath. Ready, set, go. Ten seconds. 15, 20, 25, 30. Excellent, everyone. So we are shooting for that 20 to 25 second range for holding out this long ah, which is optimal for just speech, sustained speech in conversation. So take a breath, feel free, grab a sip of water, and we'll dive into this next one. All right, everyone, ready, set, go. Ten seconds. 15, 25, 25, and 30. Excellent, everyone. Well, as always, thank you so much for joining us for these exercises. It's so important that you keep up with these videos twice a day. If you have any suggestions or ideas or feedback, we would love to hear from you. As always, please send them to Lindsay's email, which is listed on the screen right below. And thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day.